Uh, I really love the idea of being able to, as they say, step back and into a threshold, a container that is able to withstand the flows and the flux that we're undergoing as a community now, that we're stepping into an official status that people can access not by what they heard or what someone said or what they saw, but that creates a conscious existing shared channel between the dream world and the already manifest world. And so I'd like to be able to just be kind of a resident mystic, and I am not an enforcer, but somebody who has helped to instill and divest all of what I know, which is a lot about this land and this area, and to really only be one of the 5 or 6 roles I've been, a communicator in logistics and you know, project head, and then people don't do things because they don't see me working in front of them, and to create a space where there's no more excuses, there's no more ego trips or power blame games, shame games, guilt trips, but that the spirit that is sometimes here and sometimes very palpably present, which is contagious and exciting, which is exactly what we do it for, is really curated and maintained, that each person here who gets a taste, a drink of it, takes ownership and curates it and pays it forward. So that this is a place where deep consideration of the many dimensions of the unknown of each person and of each practice, so that there's a deep relationship of inquiry, appreciative inquiry, and so that this is a place that isn't feels like a chaotic pioneer town, but one where you overcome first impressions, second impressions, third impressions with each person you come to know here, that it's a galaxy of respect. And that's, for me, the most important thing. And we have to do that within the context of how are we getting paid? What's our salary? How do we, make $30 a day for the entity that covers just the taxes on one side of the road? How do we make it so that we're still of service to people who may not have an abundance of Federal Reserve notes within the parameters that we're trying to set, that is a game that really functions here, and where we avoid a lot of the misperceptions, where we avoid a lot of the waste, where we move towards zero waste, move toward permaculture. So I definitely want to second every single vision I heard on the way here, the organic farm, that it's that our facilities are such that goddesses can come and shower, that gods, masculine deities can also shower. Like, okay, fine, they got to be clean too, right? Anyway, like, why would the goddess get near them anyway? Etc. And that we're really practicing what we preach. That instead of overreacting, that we're allowed to be ourselves. I'm a funky, weird person. I should never be like have a crown on my head, and I reject any overlay that has been. And I try to flip the dunce cap upside down and check my role, and I appreciate it when people can do that with presence and consciousness. And I apologize for the ego checks or the oversteps that have seemed to be necessary from Sean, from Bill, from Jose. Farming here has been a really thankless task, and unfortunately, we had our last year. It was Norm went freaking psycho. You saw Psycho. Norm was Norm, and that north went south, and that was after months of hard work. Fred also had psychological issues, and we need to have it so that it's a healthy thing to be a farmer here. I'd like to see astragalus. I'd like to see like us growing power herbs, and I'd like it to not be overworked. To the point of feeling detriment. So I'd like to really see our currency in place. I'd like to see gratitude dollars, volunteer bucks, whatever we got to call it, the whatever we can get, so that the people here are nourished, empowered, able to do the things that they're here to do on this planet, that they otherwise could have been dedicating 40 to 80 hours to something else, that they get the same level of satisfaction and quality of life together, and that it multiplies. And that's what's possible, and we can do it when we get past ourselves. So paying it forward and getting past ourselves is the dream, and I love you all. And I'm all in, and I'm also willing to step out. Please talk to me anytime you feel like I do something wrong, especially in a way that is compassionate to me and not like trying to make a show of it. And I try to do that for so many countless people, and I would appreciate it if people showed the same respect to me that I've tried to show to the next dozen people through the door. I go over backwards for them. I like to have that same level of love and consideration and respect to my plight and to every other person's plight, that there's more of a spirit of shared, okay, Drew, you're working on this, I see it, I'm going to be there to support you. I want that attitude to be there all the time, and I'm going to stop talking about it.